Hey everyone, have I here bro? Video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be discussing our first timeline video for the year and figuring out when does the 10-year anniversary actually start, and then what are we going to get in between now and the anniversary. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So the best way to figure this all out is looking at the in-game news. And funny thing about the merger, right? The synchronization between JP and on Global. Global right now, we should have been catching up on Dokkan Festival exclusives, but JP always experiences dead time. And now Global is going to have to experience that and not have banners to summon on because, again, we've already caught up to JP. So looking at this celebration, which is, of course, the 2025 New Year celebration, I'm not going to go over the details on what the events are. I'm going to be focusing on the dates because they should tell us everything on when things are going to arrive. So the first date I want to take a look at here is when the celebration, or at least these banners, technically end. And that's showing here at 1/28/2025, basically at midnight, which leads into 1/29, which is technically the date for the anniversary of JP. That's when it happened 10 years ago, is when this game started on 1/29. And generally speaking, 1/29 is when the banners drop. So I also think that the celebration in of itself, the countdown into then the celebration starting, should be a couple days before, maybe on the 26th, the 27th, depending on, again, your time zone. And I'm using PST time here because that's my local time. JST time, Japan time, would be technically about 5 o'clock the next day. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're looking at these dates here. So, so simply put, that this should be the expectation of when the banners are going to be dropping. But when you're actually looking at other dates here, of course, we have these Dragonstone sales ending on the 19th. We also have the date here that's kind of interesting is the 13th. Kai resets on here, and then everything else is kind of ending around that time frame of the 28th. Some of these, of course, is just going further and further beyond that time, but generally speaking, this is right here is probably when let's see, 3/5. I was thinking, like, this is that when the anniversary ends? I guess so, right? That's when the anniversary is going to end, because it's going to be encompassing the entirety of February and then leading. Yeah. So we kind of know the time frame of when the celebration is going to end on 3/5, 3/6, somewhere around there. Okay. But yeah, 12/28 is when the banners should be dropping. 1/28, 29, again, depending on your time zone. But it seems like in between there are some dates that would turn into something here as well, particularly this 13th one here, and then when Dragonstone, oops, let me re-click on that, and then when Dragonstone sales reset on the 19th. So what does those situations typically mean? Well, here's how I'm going to be basically breaking it down. So what I think is going to happen here is the New Year's celebration currently right now is going to then lead into, I'll kind of use this arrow right here, lead into a EZA experience, because generally speaking during this time there's no banners, but we get a bunch of EZAs. So I'm expecting on the 13th to get some news or dropping the Dokkan Festival exclusive EZA and or in Super EZA to go along with that. Again, this is kind of what I'm expecting around the 13th when the Kai banner resets. I'm going, okay, there's something that's going to happen around that time, which is technically about a week and a half from now, right? So I'm recording this video on the 3rd. But no, 10 days, yeah, week and a half is when we should expect maybe our first grouping of EZAs, which seems like a long period of time, but it is, again, the dead time leading into the anniversary. Now, right after that, we should also then expect on 1/19, when the Dragonstone resets here, 1/19, 1/20 is the beginning of the countdown, all right? And you might go, wait a minute, well, it should be a 7-day countdown. You're like, well, that's the 27th. Well, that then, of course, leads into when the anniversary campaign actually starts, which is the 27th, not the 28th, 29th, because again, that's going to be when the banners start. But during the 19th, 20th, I expect during the countdown to have a LR EZA, because of recently major celebrations, the countdowns have been having these yellow coin LR EZAs to lead into the celebration, much like, you know, STR, UI Goku, things of that nature that's led into these big celebrations. So makes a lot of sense for them to do something like that. And again, like I mentioned, then the celebration in of itself from the 20th or the 19th to the 26th or 27th, this is when we should then expect the anniversary campaign to start, not necessarily when the banners are going to arrive. So maybe a day or two later, depending on, you know, how they're going to figure this out. But I truly believe that 129 JST time or 128 Pacific time, we should then expect the Dual Dokkan Festival or whatever. They could have a new rarity or something in the 10-year anniversary. We'll see what happens there. And that's what we should expect. Now, let's go ahead and do some speculation here in between, since now you guys know when the anniversary is technically should be starting. So let's first focus on the Dokkan Festival exclusive EZAs, which I think most people are expecting either one of these two sets, right? Because it's currently on the banners right now, and not the New Year's banner, on the Daima banner. And it makes a lot of sense because it's kind of an extension into the previous Dokkan Festival exclusive, which was, which is actually Tech Boo that led into Super Saiyan 3 Carnival Gotenks as the Christmas banner, and then now leading into the New Year celebration here. It'll be a continuation of Boo. So these were on the banners for the Daima, and they didn't have to be, right? So there's a high chance of these two units actually EZA. However, there's also these two units that are on the banner as well, and these are also very old units that need EZAs as well. So possibly we can get either one set or both of these. That would be pretty amazing. And again, during the previous the anniversary, it's really just all about EZAs. So getting a 4-character Dokkan Festival exclusive EZAs would be amazing, and would really hype up individuals going into the anniversary. Now, I'm expecting them to do a set, which would be the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and the Kid Buu. Then that's going to then lead into possibly some sort of Super EZA. This here would make sense to go right into the Buhan, and I did a whole video about that. We could have also got Buhan prior to the New Year celebration, but now we might even get him after the New Year or during the New Year celebration, during the countdown, or right before the countdown. Another option would be for those who know Daima, we possibly could have the Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta Super EZA here, and that would tie into Daima. I'm not gonna super spoil anything. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, you probably should know what has already happened during that series. But anyway, this crossover, I was expecting this to Super EZA during the Super Dragon Ball Heroes final Super Dragon Ball Heroes crossover celebration, but that didn't happen. So I was like, where is this gonna ever Super EZA? I was like, okay, well, there's an opportunity for that to happen during the Daima celebration. Now, here's an interesting thing. If I go back into here and go into the Daima celebration, so let me actually jump into there. That's just using greetings. That possibly could tell us a time frame on that as well. So this I'm just kind of I'm ad-libbing here. Is this the celebration? Where is this? Right here, part 2. Right, so let's see here. 3-6. Wow, it continues on. Yeah, 119. So 119, the same thing there. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. Possibly the Super EZA to maybe arise right in that celebration in terms of a Super EZA. And the final option and prediction could be this Tech Cell, because it's the oldest one in the Super EZA opportunities on there, but it doesn't make any sense for Tech Cell to Super EZA at this point in time. but I just threw it in there as a prediction. So what I'm expecting is EZA, Buhan EZA, or EZA and then Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta EZA. So one of those two options is what I'm expecting is going to happen from the 13th to the 19th. And then let's go ahead and lead into the 19th, which is the countdown, which hopefully we will get a legendary EZA as well. Maybe they just do a Super EZA in terms of the Vegeta. But looking here, the reason why I have 3 LRs on the screen here, these are the last 3 130% yellow coin LRs that need to get EZA'd, right? We have the Tapions, we have the Goku Piccolo, and then we have Super Saiyan 2 Gohan here. All 3 of these are technically movie heroes. So, you know, if they were to EZA one of these, I don't expect the theme to be like movie heroes again for the anniversary, because there's really no tie-in. Like you know, STR UI Goku wasn't a tie-in for anything, you know, during that celebration, right? That countdown during the celebration. So so I wouldn't hold anything in terms of the theme of where we're getting from this countdown LR here. So these are the 3 options. I particularly think that this is going to be the one that's super EZA, or sorry, that EZA's here. Possibly Goku pick. I don't think Tapion's going to EZA quite yet. It wouldn't make any sense for them to do so. Now there is another option for a EZA LR, and that would be the current dual category 150% ones, because of course Physical Janemba was the last one that EZA'd here, so it kind of skipped ahead. And we possibly can get a double. We can get a Vegeta and Goku, which is kind of where I'm leaning toward what the anniversary is going to be in terms of the units. I think it's going to be a, you know, base Goku and a base Vegeta, or some sort of variation of that. And that's going to be the celebration. And you know, I talked about like transformation mechanics, things of that nature, different transformation mechanics. But I would love for it to be Saiyan Saga. That's just me. So if they end up saying, okay, great, we're going to have Goku and Vegeta, and then we're going to EZA these 2 units, and then possibly have a different variation of that during the anniversary, that would be very interesting. But I'm going to lean just more toward this unit here. They're just going to, you know, dump this Gohan on here. Everybody's going to think it might be a Gohan celebration or something of that nature. But I think it's going to just turn out to be like a Goku Vegeta or something of like that. So finally, of course, that leads into the 10-year anniversary. What do I expect? What do I think? I think it's definitely going to be game breaking. I think it's going to try to change so many different things, but still, of course, keep the core of Dokkan here. But I'm very interested to see what they're going to do. We have a preview already of what they're going to do in terms of, like, you know, the sprites and the user interface and all these different things. But are they going to change mechanics? Are we going to get a new rarity? Are we going to get extreme and super types put together? Are we going to get new typings? There's so many options that they can do. So anyway, with that, again, my first timeline video here. This is what I'm going to expect to happen. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you agree, disagree with me? And let me know what you guys think is going to happen in terms of the EZAs in between now and the anniversary. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning, and we'll catch you next time. Later.